My name is Julian Garfield, and this is my 14th SCCA Solo Nationals. Whether you're at a local event or you're here at the big show, you're going to see a lot of active tire maintenance going on in the grid between runs. See people adjusting their tire pressures, spraying them down with water, covering them up or scraping them off. Some of these things are going to be very important, and others you might decide you're leaving more time on the course. Tire pressures are probably one of the most important things to be keeping track of during an autocross. As you continue to drive on the course, the tires are going to build up a lot of heat, and as you build up heat, the tire pressures are going to increase. My starting pressure, I'm doing that based on feel. In a lot of ways, I want to make sure that the car feels balanced. Generally, if the tires are overinflated, the traction out of corners or the amount of grip you have might be reduced. If they're a little underinflated, could be indicated by tire shoulder wear. You'll actually see that you're wearing out the sidewall of the tires a little bit. You want to keep the maximum amount of contact with the surface as possible. You can change your tire pressures either front or rear or both to change the way the car's behaving. So I set them before I start running. Then each run after that, I'm bleeding them back out as we get more heat, or I'm letting them come up if that's what I want the car to do. Speaking of heat, there's one of two things that you're going to be doing, either to get rid of some of that heat, or maybe you're trying to hold on to it. You're either keeping the temperature with blankets on a cold day, or if you're a two-driver car or you're on a hotter day, you're going to do the exact opposite. You're going to spray the tires down with cold water, and that's going to try and get the tires back down to that optimum temperature before you start your run. A wet tire is not necessarily going to be less grippy than a dry tire. We're really just mainly worried about the temperature. More so at Solo Nationals than most other events, you'll see people even scraping their tires. What's happening there is you've got the rubber you're laying down on the course, sometimes rolling up, and that'll be sitting out on course for the next driver when they're passing through. We call it OPR, other people's rubber, not the tires that you brought. So if you want to keep the most consistent performance, scraping that off between runs. You can pick it off by hand while it's still hot. Oscillating multi-tools are common out here, battery powered, and people will sit there between runs and just shave them off like you're shaving your face or anything else. One of those two things will get the job done and at least get the tire back to that starting surface. There's a lot of things going on with tires out here. If you're out here for the first time, set your tire pressures at least to the recommended door sill pressure. If you've got a more streetable, all-season tire, or if it's your very first time, you might want to inflate them a little bit. Just make sure you're not rolling over onto the shoulders too much. A lot of the other practices are for the people trying to eke out the last little bit of time. I'll still argue that some of these things, you're probably leaving more time on the course than you are on your tires. Especially at Nationals, it's very competitive, and everybody's trying to get the most out of their tires and get the most out of their performance while they're here.